everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tane Talks. I am your host, Tane, here to talk to you with another episode from Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episode 13. I have another exciting guest for you today. It's another alum and the first male alum this season, and it's Henry from Season 11, New Orleans. Hi, how are you?
Hey, I am doing well. It's good to be back. Didn't realize I was carrying the torch for the males, but I appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. We tried to do this, I think, last season, but life, gets in the way. So I'm glad we got our schedules aligned. So, guys, just a reminder before we get in, patreon.com/Teen Talks. You can get bonus episodes, 90 Day Fiance, special running all through MAFS streaming. That's August 27. Check it out. And we're also chatting over there. All right, Henry, before we get in, I want to know something from you.
Mhm.
Can you name three things that you like about this new format and three things that you don't like about this new format?
We could do a whole episode on this. So I'll try to sum this up.
Okay.
This is the first season I've watched of Married at First Sight in at least 3 seasons.
Mm,
This is the first season I've watched on Peacock, so
hmm
I had to take a mental break. Um, and actually, a question for you before I give
Okay.
this answer is this. So I thought that this was the first season without Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal. I thought this was the first season with the new experts, but is this not the first season with them?
It is.
Oh, okay, because someone else
Yes.
told me that like this was like the second season with. Okay, so this is the
No,
first season with
this
them.
is because the first season on Peacock, which was 19, was actually shot for Lifetime. So they just kind of shoehorned it into Peacock. So this is the first with the new experts, the new Peacock format, and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
hmm
So when I watched it, I'll start with the three
hmm
things I like. Um, the and I get that this could be taken either way.
Yeah.
The aesthetic the production quality is
Yeah.
noticeably
Yeah.
improved. Like it is like it looks more modern. It looks more like you could just tell. It's I mean even like the weddings themselves were clearly nicer. Like the way it's filmed is nicer. The way it's edited.
Yeah.
I don't mean this uh in like a negative way, but just the way it's edited and stuff is a little more like polished and
Yeah.
professional, so to speak. So I like, and I get that like, there was part of me that, now they have like licensed music throughout. Like there was part of me that
Yes.
misses the old song, and like I think the old format on Lifetime had like a little bit more charm to it, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
It's like a quaint city, like a
Yes.
little
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. But it's I think in order for the show to
To
like last and go on, like they needed to make these changes. So
yeah.
I know that's a long-winded answer. But yeah, so I'll say the production quality. Um I this might be a bit of a hot take.
Okay.
I don't think the experts are perfect by any like I have my kind
Yeah.
of criticisms of them, but like once again, you're going with a new look, you're going with a new paint job, a new renovation. It's like I kind of think it was maybe time. But dude, I love Dr. Pepper. I love
Yeah.
Pastor Cal. I love them. I love both of them.
Mhm.
I was lucky to kind of get to know them a little bit when I was on back in the day,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I was kind of like weary of them at first, and once again, they're not perfect, but I will say they do like maybe it's for the sake of drama, but they do like call the participants out a bit more. Like, am I wrong on that? Like,
No, no, no. You're right.
yeah, yeah, and it's like I don't hate it. It's I'm glad I didn't have to deal with them. Not
Yeah.
that would have made people squirm, but but no. So I guess I'll say that's a positive. And then, what would I say is the third thing? I mean, just I don't know. I think it's less episodes.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
yes.
So I'll say because I think the old format dragged on too
Yeah.
much, especially they do 2 seasons a year, and I mean it's like you finish one and it's like okay,
Yeah.
a new one's starting up. I got to go back through, but yeah. So I think less episodes is better. So I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with you on that. And I kind of agree with you with the experts. Like, I mean, I know you probably have to be, nicer or courteous with people. I don't. So I've always been open about I'm not yet sold on Paz. I just, I feel that there's work to be done. And then on both sides too. I do prefer Paul, but I do like the call outs. I like that they're
Yeah,
more direct. And I think someone pointed out that they're not actual therapists, although Lisa is. She is an actual
yeah.
therapist. So maybe there's more leeway. But right from the moment where he called out Adam to call his
I,
chick and
dude, let me tell you something. So like I started that was like the first or second episode,
yeah,
and that moment. So I was kind of just like on my phone. I'm like, okay, like I'm getting used to everything, but I'm just and like like when he asked Adam to call that girl, I kind
yeah,
of like my
looked up.
antennas pricked. I was like, I was like, did he just ask him to call a girl? It's like I rewound it and I just started it that segment from the beginning, and like that whole thing, yeah, like that set the tone of like this
Yeah.
is not like the same as it was before, you know?
Yeah. I mean, but it's still, you're reminded it's a TV show because on one hand, you call out Felipe, say you're not taking this seriously, and then in the next breath say, but you're matched. So,
Yeah.
when you're in and then you go out. But that all that being said, if you were to do maths again, which era would you want to be on? The old era or the new
Uh,
era? Can you handle being called out not only by the
yeah.
experts but by your fellow couples?
No. Like when I was it's funny you say that because like I was watching it and I was like envisioning. And yeah, first of all, it's different. Like I'm like
Yeah.
41. I mean, I know that they have like a couple older people on there, but I'm like
Yeah.
I wouldn't fit in with this group. But I was kind of like envisioning myself in this scenario. I was like I would not like that. Like I wouldn't. I just and maybe it's this group of people that like maybe with a different group in a different city it would be different. But yeah, no, I wouldn't care for like the way they call you. I enjoy. I think it's entertaining
Watching
to
it.
watch
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I could see them calling me out about certain things, and I could see I would just get flustered and have no idea how to react. But yeah, and I'll say because I think I know I got sidetracked, but you said three things I don't like.
Yeah.
I'll say real quick.
Mhm.
I don't like more couples. It actually took me.
Mm.
I thought I was like on something because I'm like, why? I could barely remember some of these people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, is there more than five couples? And there are more
Yes.
than five couples.
7.
So
Yes.
yes, there's seven. And I like one of my criticisms. I always thought they should have went from five to four because I would prefer that it's like give us like a little more time with like each couple.
Couples then.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think seven's too much. So I don't like the seven. Like as far as the production quality, I think it's a positive and negative. Like I said, like I
Yeah.
do think it's necessary, but I do think I do think the old way was a little more charming. Like I missed like the old
Yeah.
unlicensed intro song and all that. And then just I could see like a negative being like just the vibes are a bit different. It seems like
Yeah.
with calling out people, I like it for entertainment's sake. I don't know how productive that really is, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah,
I I agree with like okay with the 7 couples. I don't mind that it's more couples, but the fact that they make them hang out a lot all the
yeah,
time together, that's when it becomes like a thing. Is like, are we getting to know more about them or just them in group settings and
yeah,
we see them,
yeah.
in that way. So, yeah.
100%, 100%. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you film in a group session, obviously it is way different than when you're filming like one on one. Like I like back in the day when I did it, I loved filming in group sessions because even though I knew like some heat may come my way at some point, it was kind of like you're just distracted by everybody
An
else. So
escape. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it's definitely an escape. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, guys. They have less than 3 weeks until decision day. So anyone who doesn't know, I think it's 6 weeks for them now. So it's really accelerated.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think that's enough time, or do you think it should be 8 weeks?
I think that's another. I should. I forgot it's 6 weeks now. I honestly think 8 weeks is better than 6 weeks,
6 weeks.
but
Yeah.
I don't really know. But maybe that goes hand in. I did say a positive was it's less episodes, so maybe that's a compromise you got to make for a TV show.
I mean, they could stretch it. They can do whatever they want.
They
That's the
can.
power of editing. So they can make it
Yeah.
whatever, and now it's like a hit for them. I'm sure they want more episodes. They're still going to watch it anyways.
Yeah. No.
So,
No. You're right. No. It should be 8 weeks. 6 weeks is too. I mean, that's a month and a half.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That's why we don't have 1 month anniversaries anymore.
Right? Yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah, because that's different with the format. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go through like each couple. I think once we start with each couple, I not to put you on the spot, but give me one word that you think of to describe them. You can use two or three, but we're starting with Marissa and Adam. And what's your, or maybe not one word, maybe first impression, quick summary of Marissa and Adam.
Vibes, you know. I'll just say real quick, surface level. That's just
Yeah.
they like. Yeah, I know we're going to talk more later. I'll just say
Yeah.
surface level like that. That's it.
No, no full send,
Oh
Henry.
yeah, yeah, they're getting cooked, you know, full send. But, yeah.
Okay, well, for a change in events, we get to see Marissa with her friends because it took us just 13 episodes for us to see her friends. I think we saw Adam's friend the first episode
Yeah,
when he got
yeah.
matched. And she shares all about her pickleball day. She says that she was feeling like he was just saying, yeah, sure, at group therapy, but the vibes have definitely changed between them. And he has definitely pumped the brakes, but they're working on a compromise. And I'm like, I hope she knows that a compromise is not one sided. Like, he
Yes.
literally has to meet her halfway, like she is
Yes.
meeting him halfway.
Yeah.
So her friends are married, and her friends do say, like, we have different hobbies from our husbands. I have a different hobby from my husband, but Adam seems to think they need to be
Yeah.
at 120% together all the time. And to your point, Henry, I think this is where I kind of think they failed them in the expert session because yes, they talked about it, but I think they could have just gone deeper into why does he think he needs to have this in a partner? I know his parents made him do it, but what makes you think you have to? He said his children, okay, that's still a problem, kind of, but why do you have to have that with your partner who's also an individual person as
Yes.
well?
Yeah. 100%. And I get. Yeah. That honestly was one of my first thoughts. And I get that. Yeah, I mean, you know, a relationship entails a bunch of different things, and the way
Yeah,
couples handle it is different. But
yeah,
yeah, it is weird that they didn't call him out on that. Like, it is okay to have different hobbies.
yeah,
It is okay to, you know, do your own thing. But you know, I get, like, of course, like you know, you want someone who shares some hobbies or some interests.
yeah,
Like, you can't be totally different, but
yeah.
it is weird that he is very much like he wants someone who's like interested and to go to the gym with him as many days as possible and do all that. And yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I agree. It's weird that the experts didn't like make that more of
Jose, yeah.
a deal, you know.
And also the fact that no one even asked, because that has been my question. Adam, do you work? Why? How do you have time for all of
For all,
this?
there is, yeah, there is, and it's also, you know, and I like, I don't know if this will sidetrack the combo, but I think it's, um, I don't like. First of all, I get that I'm watching a show and
Mhm.
I have a different perspective, but like to me, Adam is such an obvious like. I don't want to
Yes.
curse on the show, but he's such
Please,
he's not
you
he,
can if you want to.
but he's such an obvious, like, if you want to say fuck boy or if you want
Yeah.
to say he's just like a man child, like whatever you
Yeah.
want to say. Like, I guess my point being is like it's so obvious. He's someone that you'd have fun with or maybe date, but he's
Yeah.
not someone you'd marry. And it's I guess what's weird to me is that like this is the issue that Marissa finally it kind of opened her eyes that like
Yeah.
they may not be the most
Compatible.
compatible or compatible.
Yeah.
And then granted, whatever works, you know, whatever. And then like she has very much just like gone with the flow and been
Yeah.
like, you know, kind of like ship shifting into like
Mhm.
whatever he wants. But you know what I mean? It's kind of weird that like this is the issue that brought it up.
Yeah, but can I counter that? That could be said for all of the grooms except maybe Cameron for now.
But
That
like what? Like in
like
which part?
it seems obvious that they're
Oh,
not ready
yeah,
necessarily for
yeah.
marriage.
Well, yeah. We'll get. There's one other person I'd say is, but I think for the most part, you're right.
Okay.
But it's I just I find it. I guess my point is like I find it weird that like it's taking this for Marissa to kind of
From
start
Mission 2.
questioning things. Like you like that should be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Obvious. That should
yeah.
have been like first. I think Because it's not sustainable, and I think she was maybe
Yeah,
just biding her time and saying, "Okay," because I said the same thing at the honeymoon. I'm like, "You know what? Let's keep it light and fun. Let's
yeah,
just no get too deep." Then we get home. Okay, I just met him. It's still, a week. Let's see. And then finally, I think pickleball, knowing that that's his religion. First it was jet ski, that's okay. Now you
yeah,
add pickleball on top and it's like, "Oh, wait.
and
He's
working
not."
hard. Yeah,
And you see it in reality, like he's not joking. Like this is real.
yeah,
And she's like, "Oh no,
and
I got to say something."
yeah, it's that, and it's also like, yeah, yeah, I could see it's a turnoff for a girl where it's like he was clearly competitive about what is a really casual
Mhm.
game of pickleball, and like not even
Mhm.
letting her like have fun. Like that's a turnoff for a lot of women. Like
Yeah.
some women are athletic and like fairly competitive and would have kind of been a good.
Courtenay?
Was that?
Courtenay? Courtney?
Oh, actually, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, which I think is kind of why they vibe a little bit, but yeah, yeah. I guess once again, that's why I say surface level for them. It's like
Yeah.
they don't, they clearly haven't really had many serious conversations. It's kind of been
Mhm.
all fun and vibes and full send, and it's like
Yeah.
even their main issue is that like is his
Wanna
activity.
play, yeah.
You want to play, you know what I mean? So
Yes, they haven't gone, like, deep into, like, the
yeah,
things.
like
And I know, like, speaking of deep conversations, I've been saying, like, they haven't spoken about his family, but I had Kristen, on the last episode recapping, and she shared with me that sometimes you guys could have, like, hard lines, like, just certain things you didn't wanna talk about, and I'm wondering if
yeah,
this is one of the things because I think it's odd that they didn't show up for the wedding, and they just have never spoken about it again, so,
yeah,
I
that's
yeah.
fair. Yeah, no,
So
no, that's a good point.
yeah. So her friend, Marissa's friend, is glad that she's holding her own and she's not letting it slide. And it was good for us to see an outspoken, non-agreeable Marissa. The thing is, I need to see it when he's around. Like
Yeah,
it seems like she just
yeah,
shifts into the agreeable when he's around. And I get it. Adam is somebody who just not sucks the air out of the room, but he commands the room.
he's
And
dominant.
maybe,
Yeah,
yeah, it's his looks because sometimes, honestly, and I say this about Paul, like maybe we listen to him and think he's better or something because he looks good. And that it plays a part in
yeah,
human nature.
yeah.
So
It's funny you say that because I was gonna make a joke that it's like, dear women, do you just get goo goo eyed and distracted by tall guys with muscles? And I get it, but like once again, that's different to date and have fun with. And
yeah.
but no, no, you're when they're like he's a very dominant personality. Like he's
Yeah.
like he's gonna talk and they like you just mentioned and other people I mentioned on the show. It's like they're like we know Adam likes to play pickleball and jet skis or whatever, but like no one knows what like Marissa likes to do or what her
Yeah.
things is. And I don't know. Yeah, I hope like and you are right. She gets her voice when he's not there, but when he's
Yeah.
there, she just kind of goes back to
Yes. Yeah, that's what I want to see, especially since she expressed the ick out loud. I'm like, okay, so
yes,
now
yeah,
do what's best, for you. So
yeah,
just as she was telling her friends, like, oh, it's been kind of stressful, Adam walks in, or as Paz called him, her core trigger. I can't get over it, Henry. Like, she was like, it's almost like you married your core trigger, but she matched them.
yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, no, 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 I don't get it.
So he reiterates that, it was a good day for him. It wasn't bad. And once again, he says it where she's like, she's the normal one. I'm the one who can't do anything at normal. I have to be 100 and beyond. And she's like, maybe he can join a league. And then she says something funny. She's like, and then he can come home and I finish him off. And I'm like, we're still talking about pickleball, right?
Right, right, right. Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, 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 yeah,
so they didn't laugh. So I guess I was like, oh, it's just me. So okay, yeah, I
yeah.
got it. What you were talking about. So she says she's happy that they had the hard conversations and they ask him what are the top three things he likes about her. He
Mhm.
says her sense of humor, she's supportive, she's sweet, she's comforting. I guess that wasn't three for them. He started thinking of a third one and they were like, well, I threw in extra. And I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard, but
It's
all right.
no. I thought yeah, yeah. No, I honestly thought that they didn't make a big enough deal about that. But I get it. You're just kind of progressing the story along from an editing standpoint. But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was like kind of rude. It's like I mean, like he didn't even. I don't even like an easy one. Just a
Yes.
lob ball would have been. You could just say something about her looks or whatever. But I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't even think he mentioned anything about being physically attracted to her. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
not hard. It's not hard to mention three things, regardless if it's
Yeah.
personality or physical. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and I thought,
agreeable was right there
and
for
it
him.
just, I think that was, and then like I know this was a past episode, but it's like it's. I also thought it was like really rude when like they were doing a painting and he put like
Yes,
cooked and like like I
yes,
think that both those situations are just kind of where he just like
yes.
his jokes could be mean or like just some of his responses could be kind of mean, you know.
Yes, they are. So you at that, I talked about that too. And when they went thrifting, and he was like maybe a push-up bra for whatever that situation is going on there. So yeah,
Yeah,
all the little
that too.
passive aggressive comments. I
Yes.
mean, I don't know if you noticed Henry, but he had spinach in his teeth, and I'm like, no
Yeah.
one told him. Production,
Yeah.
anyone?
You know, I don't like him at all. I actually, when I saw he had spinach in his teeth, it reminded, like there was a scene that I filmed when I was eating, and it was like some cheese was like hanging from my thing. And dude, when I watched it, I was like, these mother, like I was like, of course, and they purposely show it, you know. But yeah, 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 I agree. Like I was surprised no one gave him a heads up, you know.
Maybe they were mad at you, Henry.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they were
think.
like, he's not giving us anything here, so we're just gonna let it hang.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But no, but yeah, yeah. It was. I know. I definitely noticed that.
Okay. They asked what the hardest thing was, and he was like, "Oh, just aligning on our future." And I do think you made a good point earlier, where even the thing that is their pain point is not like core values.
No,
It's plain pickleball.
no. Yeah, it's just like one of them has like a high motor and
Yeah,
is very physically active, and the other
yeah,
one's not as much. Like
yeah.
okay,
Oh, there are more things they have to face as the years go by if they stay together.
yeah,
Marissa admits that she wasn't super honest in the beginning, but they still have a crush on each other, but they need to work on their like fundamental stuff. And they end things on a light note because the friends was like, "Oh, are you guys having sex?" And they're like, "No." And they were like, "Please, it's very clear that you're having sex." So that is the one area that they don't have any issues with. So it can help and it can be a hindrance because I don't know, you could just forget about everything else and just go there because that's where it's comfortable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like clearly they were hooking up, and it's like I
Yeah.
said, they're just a couple. To me, it's like they're just very lighthearted. They're just having a good time and fun. Like Marissa is someone who I think would just match the level of whoever she got matched with. And
Yeah.
I don't really know that I mean that in a negative way. Like I think if she was with someone who was like really intense and really into it, she would be really intense and
Yeah.
really into it. But she's with Adam, who's like the opposite, and she's that. And like there was a part of me that's like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they said yes on this, like just because
Yeah.
like they're just kind of fine with
Yeah.
like you get what I'm like unless he says no, like I think they're
Then he'll
just
be
kind of fine
he
with the radio
the ball is basically in his
in
court.
his court.
And
Yeah,
she's like, I can make it work either way. And I think
yeah,
she said it best, where she's like, we're really good at the boyfriend girlfriend part, but like as husband and wife, I'm not sure. But then it might work in this case where allegedly it's not a legally binding marriage. So there's no pressure per
yeah,
se. So if you're done and you figure out it's not working, you could just walk away. You don't have to stay and go through a divorce for like a year and a half or something.
yeah.
So
I like they are definitely not someone who's gonna like if they say yes at the end
yeah.
of this. Like they were not gonna stay obviously together long term, but I
Yeah.
could absolutely just see it's
Yeah.
6 weeks. We're having fun. We're like it's lighthearted. Like I could see them just like saying yes, and like a handful of months later, you find out they called it.
We get a statement.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We get a joint statement from them. So yeah, yeah, it's just is what it is for them.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a quick break and I'll be right back.
Are you seated? Do you know what's coming next? You probably really don't. It's Anna Lawani here from Culture Shock, the podcast where celebrities, all sorts of culture makers, people, and everybody in between, we just get on. And we're trading rehearsed answers for some unexpected, shocking questions, maybe sometimes dumb, that you may ask yourself sometimes, and you want to see someone else ask them. With all things plenty of laughs, surprises, and just enough chaos to keep everyone on their toes, you might enjoy this podcast. Be sure to check out Culture Shock wherever you stream your podcasts online, and obviously, you're gonna like this. I'm sure of it.
All right, we are back. Your quick summary on Courtenay and Nick.
Uh oh God, what would I say for them? Because it's fun. They're kind of hard to say because they're so different. What would I say for them? I honestly just never took them seriously from the beginning because I know this isn't what you're looking for from me, but I'm trying to think of a word that sums it up. But Nick, this is like his third or fourth reality TV show. I'm sure
Fourth,
y'all
yeah,
have talked about this in the past on your
yeah.
podcast. He is literally like just who I thought he would be. I literally when I saw he was cast, I'm like, he's not going to take a stance on anything. He's just gonna like just get through it, and that's it. So I know what I don't really know what I would how I would sum them up in a word or two, but yeah, but that's my quick thoughts on them.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's on par. I mean, a lot have said like Nick. I've been calling Nick like a blank slate. And, he only comes alive in confessionals. I mean, some people see him
Yes.
differently, but I
It-
don't know if it's because of Courtney. I did watch his shows, but I think this is him.
no,
So
it's well, first of all, what would be like your word for him? Do you have one in mind if you summed them up real quick?
I wouldn't say like I mean, incompatible comes first. It's
Yeah,
the first
I
thing.
was I'm not just saying. I was going to say incompatible, but yeah, I was trying to think of
Yeah.
something more. Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I think Courtney hates him. So
Yeah,
it's hard to bring out anything from him. Like he was already, I've been saying like he's self editing and not self
yes,
editing in like he's censoring him, yeah, kind of in a way. Like
no,
it's just like he doesn't want to say the wrong thing, and I think from jump he kind of knew this wasn't going to work, so I'm not going to jeopardize my personality or my image or anything for this. I'm just going to ride it out till
no,
I can get out.
no. So I've used the phrase self edit on Reddit because like I go on Reddit and kind of chat about everything
Yeah,
and no it's he and like I get other people have mentioned that like they think part of it is that Courtney isn't making them comfortable and I don't
yeah,
totally disagree with that but like
yeah,
and I know that she's not the most liked participant like this season but I will say I mean I understand the frustration that's like you're with someone who I would be willing to bet when cameras aren't there, I'd be willing to bet you get pretty much like nothing from them. And it's
mm,
funny you said the confessional thing because I was like, the only time he takes a stance on anything is
is
when he's in the confessionals and like he's usually talking about like other couples
couples.
or other things. But
Yeah,
this is a weird example I'm going to use, and I'm not going to use a specific example. But I bet you if like she asked him on camera like his opinion about something more serious about like I don't know something regarding politics or something
yeah,
like that. His answer would be so well, yeah, I'm not a big
yeah,
fan of what they do, but he would just say like both sides of the coin, and like that
yeah.
he's been like that the whole time,
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. The producer said, "You say you're conservative. Okay,
Yeah,
where do you
yeah, that's
lean
right. Yeah,
and all that?" And he's like, "Well, and which again, I'm not defending him by any chance. I was just surprised that he said he leaned conservative because I'm like,
same.
I've watched this guy, and I've seen some of the things. I'm like, you do? Are we just saying this? And half the audience think he's a plant. I can't defend that he's not a plant to promote the show.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's that. So that's why it's just hard to get a read on them. And again, it just comes down to they're not compatible. They
they're
don't like
not.
each other because if he was with someone, let's say a Marissa who would get along with anyone, would that bring out something in him? I don't know. Because I compare it to like we're gonna get to Cameron, and I think Cameron came in and I was expecting him to like, he's scared of commitment. And he is even surprised that his feelings. And when you get the right person with you, they bring out what you didn't even know you had in him.
Yeah.
He just didn't get the person that
Yeah,
did that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree with all that. Like, I think they are well. Like, it's. I would have been interested to see Nick with a fit. Like, I personally think he's lucky that he got matched with someone who's an obvious mismatch, so he could just like wipe his
Mhm.
hands and walk away.
Yeah.
I would have been interested. And I think I even said this on Reddit. Like, I would have been interested to see him with a better match, and I would have been interested to see how he handles it. Like would he have really given it more? Would he have taken more of a stance? Was it the comfortable like was it him not being comfortable with Courtney,
Yeah.
etc. But I don't know. I just never like I kind of think he just saw an opportunity for a reality show, another paycheck, and like a chance to get more of a following. And honestly, I am a little disappointed that they would cast them because and like not. I'm sure you have more specific questions about them, but like even from Courtney's standpoint, like I would absolutely be insecure. Like she didn't recognize him but you get matched with
Mhm.
someone who this is his third or fourth reality TV show. Like
Yeah,
that in and of like, and she said a couple of times very passively that like it didn't bother her. But
yeah.
I'm sure that was more of a thing off camera. Like,
Um,
she's looking to see how many followers he has. She's looking in the comment section. Like, how would you take that? Like, how would that not
yeah.
make you feel insecure? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that, and I think I would probably give it more thought if it wasn't Courtney. I
Yeah,
just
no, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
she's
fair.
not my favorite. So
She's
it's
not.
hard to decipher also because it feels like based on her Instagram now, that is what she's aspiring for.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
she's throwing things out there saying, here are all the fits I served or looks I served during Married at First Sight and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, do you really hate it? Are you secretly glad that this is who you got? They're showing videos from their honeymoon. I think the specific question that I asked was if they were going to cast a reality person, why Nick? That's actually my question. Why Nick? Because he doesn't give much, but then I'll prefer Nick to like a Harry Jowsey. Because if it's like a Harry Jowsey, then that's a complete joke at that point. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
just didn't understand. I was gonna ask you why you think it was Nick, but
I,
I don't know
I
if you
think I think a couple of things. They were filming in Seattle, and it's funny. He used to live in Austin, Texas.
he
Um,
still lives there, right?
so, so to my knowledge, he does not. Now he may have like a place there, like I don't know, but
Okay.
total coincidence. A friend of mine moved to Austin, Texas for a hot second, and
Yeah.
he texted me one night and was like, "I'm hanging out with this guy who's on a reality TV show. I was telling him about you," and I'm like, "Who?" And he's like, "Nick from The Circle." I'm like, "What the hell?" And he was there with the guy. I watched that season of
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Circle, so he was there with the guy that the gay guy that he became
Guy, his
friends
friend
with.
that did the wedding.
Um,
Yeah.
and and it's funny because I remember I was like, I didn't know he lived in Austin. He's like, oh, he's actually about to move to Seattle. So like, I remember having that conversation with my friend about Nick moving from there to Seattle. So I'm saying all this to say that I think part of it, he lives in Seattle. I think part of it is like, he's like just the level of reality show that like you might know him, but you don't want to get someone who's like too popular because then like
Yeah.
you would absolutely not take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I think he's like just the right level, and honestly, yeah, it's kind of when I saw that they cast him, I was kind of like, dude, when I was on it when I was going through the process, it was such a big deal that you had
Yeah.
like no TV history. Like they were like they
Oh
made sure you
wow.
didn't have an IMDb. They made sure that like you never did anything. And I'm like, y'all went from that to casting someone who was on like multiple.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I get it's like trying to promote the show, but anyway, I think that part was like I just it's like why would you cast that, you know? But
Yeah.
he's not a bad guy. I'm not
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
say he's a bad
No.
guy. Yeah.
No, it is what you know what? I think I'm just gonna DM him and ask where he lives. Cause at this point, I just thought he was in Austin. He didn't ask me anything. And I thought he said he lived in Austin. And honestly, when he said he had a 4-bedroom house, three, I was like, that sounds like Texas to me. Is that I
Okay.
mean, I know it's possible in Seattle, but yeah, I'm just that's
Maybe
interesting.
he has. Yeah, maybe he has 2 points. I remember specifically when my friend was like, "Yeah, he's moving to
Yeah.
Seattle." Unless that was a cover up. Unless that I'm trying to think of the timeline. Unless that was like around. Maybe he was going to Seattle just to film
For
this.
the show.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe that's what he was telling people. So I don't know.
I'll update you because I think I'm just gonna ask. I might as
Oh
well
yeah,
ask the
yeah. Go
source
ahead.
and hope for the best and see if I get a response. Okay, well, Courtney is telling us that she had coffee, and I'm like, why did you have coffee? You do not need coffee in your life. You are natural caffeine. You shouldn't have it because she's on her same old 1,000. Nick is on his same old negative 1,000, and I want to point out, guys, that at some point she was like, "Oh, the coffee is making me so wide awake," and then she's like, "I'm wide awake," and then she's singing a Katy Perry lyric, and it just fuels my conviction that she's lying about these things. You cannot know this lyric, but do not know Keanu Reeves. And I've gotten somebody has DM'd me to tell me like it is possible not to know Keanu Reeves, and I guess it is possible. My brain just didn't wrap around it. I just don't believe, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that there is no. I that blew my mind, and clearly Nick was thrown off, and there was a part of me that was like, Henry, are you 41 and just like these younger people don't know
So,
Keanu Reeves?
you know
But I'm
what?
like, there's no way. There's no like if you don't know Keanu Reeves, it just speaks volumes to like who else you don't know. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there was something else she didn't know too.
She didn't know Drag Race, about when they talked about it at the wedding, which, by the way, she just came out with an Instagram reel or something with like a whole long caption saying, "We don't know her. We've only seen an edited show," the usual things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
reality TV state. But we did see some of the things that you said, Courtney, and we did see how you
yeah.
treat and talk to people. And at the end, I think she uses RuPaul's voice on there, and she was like, "As it seems, I do know what Drag Race is." So I just don't know. But you do make a good point, Henry, that I forget that she is 28.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to remember that some of these things are extinct for that generation, because for those of you who watch Next Gen NYC on Bravo, I remember the first season where Ariana was on there and they were talking about Ben Affleck, and she was like, "Who the fuck is Ben Affleck?" And I wanted to die in my chair. So
That-
maybe that is the new world we live in, where everyone knows the TikTok stars, but then the people we consider, Keanu's not a legend, but he's, well known
oh
actor.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they don't know it, but for some, it just the Matrix. I don't know. It was just hard
I
to
know,
believe.
but and like Nick, Nick's around her age, I think. Maybe not.
Yeah, a
Nick's
little
probably a
older.
little,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I mean, Nick's early 30s, and he easily knew him. So I no, no, no. I was like, she had no clue. She had no clue.
She
And
did.
like John Wick was like, I get that that's more of a masculine like action
Yeah.
movie, but it's not like he's been like completely irrelevant
Yeah.
in recent years. I don't know. It's
John
crazy.
Wick
That's
is
crazy.
quite known. So, well, maybe there's some people who know faces, but she didn't seem to know the faces, but don't know the names. But, that's
Yeah.
besides the point.
Yeah.
But she does what she does. She rat-a-tat-tat-tats until she says, like, I just feel like you're not being your real self. And she feels like he never has an opinion. She feels like she has shut that off on him, and she just word vomited on him. So now you say your piece. I'm like, okay. He says, "You're valid. I do have opinions. And early on, when I made them known, I was denied or shut down. So I pulled back." And then they flash back to when he says, "Let's boogie." And I found that funny that that was the example that they decided to show. Maybe there wasn't many options, so
Yeah.
that was what they showed.
Yeah.
He says he also mirrors the environment that he's in,
Yeah.
and she's not goofy, so he's not goofy either. And she's like, "Well, I had no idea that's how you feel." I'm like, "Wait, what?" He said that. Maybe I'm making that up. I thought he said that in a lot of the sessions.
Yeah.
And she just keeps insisting, "Tell me, be yourself, be
Yeah.
yourself." And I'm like, "But that's not the case in practice. This is not a comfortable environment." You're
Yeah.
practically yelling at him to be himself.
Yeah. Be yourself, damn it. Be yourself. Be goofy. Be
And he says, "I don't even know, like, maybe you are goofy, because the thing is, when I see you with other couples, you are energetic, you are goofy and bubbly." And he specifically brings up pickleball with Adam. Like, you come
yeah.
alive when you're there.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I won't lie. That conversation between him and Adam actually had me cracking up laughing. Like when they were joking, like they were flirting with one another,
Yeah, yeah,
was a very funny conversation.
yeah. Then she asked him, "What do you need from me?" And he was like, "Just be goofy. Like, even if I make a mistake, just laugh about it. Don't talk about it for a week that I don't know how to use an espresso machine." And she's like, "Well, now that I know that you don't want banter from that standpoint." And I'm like, is it banter if it's laced with annoyance and irritation? It's not banter.
Yeah, yeah. No.
You know? He says it's demoralizing, and I don't think she's listening to him, because he was like, "I mean, I don't even know if I can flirt with you. You don't give back." And she's like, "What? I do say things about you. I say you're hunky." Guys, "let's boogie" is an ick, but hunky, oh my God,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
use
yeah.
that word.
Yeah, yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
So he's like, "No, you've said it twice in a group session." And then she loses it. And that's the thing with Courtney. She starts all, "I'm going to be calm, I'm going to be good." And she's like, "Fuck it. This is the real me." And she's just like, "For you to say I never said it, I don't know where the fuck your mind is." And this is my big, big, huge problem with Courtney. She's a lot of things, but if I had to pick one, she's so rude and disrespectful. Like, you can get mad, you can feel valid in your feelings, even though feelings are not facts, but you do not have to be rude. And even when she does it, the experts don't call her out, and it just bothers me a lot,
Yeah.
the way she speaks
Um,
to him.
yeah, she's very intense. She's very unfiltered, and you can tell she's like anxious and has like 5 million
Yeah.
words and sentences going on in her brain at any given second, and she tries to get a bunch of them out. But
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but she makes I get having like a dry sometimes sense of humor and kind of like
Mhm.
ripping people. Trust me, like I rip people, and I really had to, like I'm one of those people who kind of like give people a little bit of a hard time with those I'm
Yeah.
close with, and I've had to tone that back in recent
Mhm.
years. But and like I get that, but I'm like, you don't really know him that well, and he doesn't really know you that well. And also with her, I'm someone who's dry and can read that pretty well. It's
Yeah.
very hard to tell because she is frustrated at times and serious when
Yeah.
she says some of that stuff. And then sometimes I think she's joking. So it's really hard to. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like really hard to tell like when she's serious or when she's doing a bad job of being like joking, or flirty.
I think the difference is I don't think she's joking. Like
Maybe not.
I know she's saying I think Nick is a lot of things, but he has the right read on this. Like no matter what he does, she's irritated by it. We saw that at the birthday party. We saw that all that. So she's not joking.
Yeah,
She's doing everything she can, for lack of a better word, to demoralize him because he
yeah,
annoys her. And like I said, she goes to therapy to find reasons to not like him, and she's
yeah,
stuck on you're giving me nothing, you're surface, you're not challenging me, and she's gonna stick by that to the end.
yeah.
And she's not being kind with it when the core everything of it is I don't like you.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just
no,
it.
no. No. You are a 1,000% spot on, and that reminded me of something I wanted to say about her because yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Like she is looking for things that are wrong to
Hmm.
justify why it's wrong, and they even it was a handful of episodes ago. She was with I think they went to her family. It had to be her
Yes.
family and friends, and she was like that was also a weird conversation, but she was
Yeah.
essentially telling her friend or whoever it was to like grill them. And then that whoever that person was like, I think you're looking for like
This
you
reason.
want us and you
Yeah.
yourself are looking for like red flags for things to not like about him. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing he could do.
No.
There's like if he brought flowers home, it would be like the wrong kind of flowers, or like there's nothing he could do. That's right.
It was DOA, dead on arrival,
Yeah, yeah,
from the very beginning. Um, so he says like, yeah, he's talking about her saying all these things, and she goes, "Where the fuck your mind is?" He emphasizes like again, the compliments don't have to be just about looks, and this is how she always like misunderstands him when he talks about physical affection. She jumps straight to sex and is like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, "No, I'm not even talking about that." And
yeah,
even now with the compliments, he's like, I say you're hunky. He's like, I don't even mean my looks, just something positive, like positive reinforcement.
yeah,
And he's like, all these things are just parts of any loving relationship that he has been in. And I know Nick isn't saying his truth. What he's really saying is Courtney doesn't know what that looks like. He's kind of hinted at that before, that she doesn't know what a loving relationship looks
yeah,
like. And he just feels like to anyone else, it wouldn't have to be a honeydew item on the list. It's
yeah,
just basic, say nice things to your partner without thinking about it or saying, oh, I have to hold your hand. Is it too long? Do I do this and all
yeah.
that? Like, just be a nice person. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of overthinking, a lot
Yeah.
of yeah, just not enough like just niceness toward and respect towards
Yeah.
one another or towards him. And
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with what a lot of people say. Like she's not. I do think a lot of it is like he is just not comfortable around her. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And what's the point
they were hard to
What's
work
the
with.
point? What's the point in investing when, again, like you said, it doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah,
She's just gonna knock it down anyways.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah. Again, like I said, I don't think she's listening because her response was, "Real love is real fucking love." I'm like,
yeah,
uh, what is that? Okay, I don't know what that means. Um, she says, "I don't want you to be in your head. I want you to be you." And I'm like, it's all words, people. Like it's just cold. Everything about it is, I don't want to say hostile. I don't know if that's going too far, but there's no love at home. There's
no,
no
no, no.
warmth.
Yeah, no, I actually think hostile is a good word, and cold. That's
Yeah.
a great word. It is cold. Like she's just like I said, she's very intense. You can tell she's pretty
Hmm.
anxious. She just says a bunch of things, and it's not
Yeah.
the delivery of what she says is not great. Like
Not great at
95%
all.
of the time.
Yeah.
So no, no, no. I like. I'm sure their situation was not fun to be in at all.
I'm very sure.
Yeah.
Um, At this point, I felt she was yelling at him. She's like, "You are married to me. There is no reason to not be comfortable with me. And I feel like you haven't been since you've been with me." And I'm like, "Are we in the Twilight Zone?" She's the one who said she needed time. She's a slow burn
Yeah,
and she needs all the things. So, how is this being turned around? In a confessional again, instead of to her face, Nick is like, Courtney can be extremely disrespectful. And he's not wrong. Like, guys, at this point, I'm keeping the conversation clean. There was a lot of fucks just flying everywhere
yes,
as she's talking to him. And it's just, it didn't need to go that way. So he feels like she's projecting on him. It's not solvable. He is being himself, but she just doesn't vibe with it. And I think that's an accurate description.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. What you said summed it up perfectly. It's like she just doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it. And like when you don't like, usually in relationships, like when you've been with someone for a long time, and it
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be like a partner, it
Yeah.
could be like a friend. There's just things that those people do that just aggravate you. That if
Yeah.
someone else did it, it wouldn't aggravate you at all. And it
Yes.
doesn't. In some cases, it doesn't really mean you. It just means that you get on each other's nerves because you've been together
Hmm.
for a long time. And it's like they're at that point from her end, and they've known each other for like 4 weeks. You know what I mean? And it's
4 weeks in maths time.
yeah, in math time, yeah. So it's just like I said, there's just nothing he just rubs her the wrong way for whatever reason.
Yeah. We'll get more into them at the group therapy. The other thing is how
But
much she wants to insist that she's trying. When you have to say it, let's just
yeah,
see it versus telling us. It's like Alyssa and good person. Just be a good person and don't tell us that you're a good person. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's it for now. We'll take a break and we'll come back to talk about Michelle and Cameron. All right. So, Michelle and Cameron, Henry, what is your quick summary about this couple?
If I said a word, I would just say, I don't know if this is the best word, but just there's a better word than this, but I'd say enjoyable.
Uh,
And I'd say surprising.
yeah.
I know we're gonna get into it, but yeah, I I I thought for sure this couple was not gonna I thought like Cameron was gonna be awkward, and I
Yeah.
mean he's never been in a relationship. He's legit never been in a long term
To a
relationship. Just
relationship, yeah.
like yeah, surprising, lovable, just warm. Like honestly, very pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in the minority. I mean, compared to the dumpster fire of all the other couples, they are the bright shining hope. So yes, we're hanging on to them. But I am in the minority of people who keeps waiting for the shoe to drop. I have no proof, no nothing, but
Um, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, so it's funny you say that because I won't say why, but I agree. There was so early on there was something about them that I just didn't trust, and I
yeah.
think it was more on her end. I was like, does she really? Yeah, and like once he got past a certain threshold of like, okay, this guy's committed. Like he
Okay.
is very genuine. He like for someone who's not been in apparently a lot of long relationships, he
Yeah.
says like a lot of like he communicates really well. Like I'm like
Yeah.
he says a lot of things. I'm like that's a really nice thing to say or a good thing to communicate to your partner. Like I'm really
Yeah.
surprised, but I I honestly, and I'm not saying it's disrespectfully. Early on, I was like, there was just something about her that I'm like, I don't really know if she's gonna dig him or like him or whatever.
Oh, I see.
But no, I mean, I like she just seems, and uh, maybe I judged them wrong, but and I have no, I'm just aesthetically looking at him. She just looked like a little more outgoing and stuff than like he
Than him.
was. And
Mhm.
I just didn't think that they were going to be a match. And then, like on top of, I didn't think he was ready for this process. But
Experiment.
yeah, but
I mean, I hate to bring it up that Courtney had the same thoughts as you. I don't know what that means that you should have thought with Courtney. She said she didn't think anybody like Michelle would like anyone that they gave her. She said that.
yeah, no, like I said, I probably judged her more. I get that
Yeah.
we're seeing edited versions, but just aesthetically, she just like looks like someone who'd be more. But like clearly, I'm wrong. Like clearly,
No, I think I understand what you mean, but I think they've been able to work through whatever that difference, and they've worked through so many others, like even with the earnings, even with the living, but they're talking through it. And again, I think it's a testament to what happens when you match someone who brings out the best in you, because it could easily have been when they match people and it brings out the worst in them. And I keep saying,
Yes.
like, he's surprised. I think he's surprised at like how he's reacting and how much he really likes
Yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
I'm
Great point.
hoping that it's sustainable, because it's just switching from
Yeah.
commitment, I don't know, and then coming there. And then we see, little glimpses in this episode, because they're chatting about his work. He says that he lost his temper, and she's like, "Oh, I've never seen you angry." And this is the things that remind you that they are kind of in a bubble,
Yeah.
and they haven't experienced all these things that usually come in like a long-term relationship. And we also don't have insight a lot into why he has not been in a long-term relationship. And I hope I'm not reading too much into this, because he was like, "Oh, I don't want you to see me like that because I get stressed, and our relationship has been perfect so far, and I don't want it to not be like this."
Yeah.
So my first question is that what he does? Is that a pattern for him, that honeymoon phase, it's great, and then once the real nitty-gritty starts setting in, he's like, "Yeah, I don't, want this." Remember, he got so emotional saying, like, "I don't think I've had any woman say anything nice, like nice things like this about me." And I think my guess was like, because he hasn't been in long-term relationship. I'm like, well, even in situationships, you can still say nice things about your, what do they call him, your situationship partner? I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called. But so for him to be surprised about that, I'm just like, how deep has he not gotten, and how far has he not gotten in relationships, that once things start being real, is he going to be able to handle it? I
Yeah.
think that's my thing. And him just saying, "I want things to stay perfect," and Michelle gave the right answer, that is not realistic, my
Yeah.
dear.
No, no, no. Yeah. I honestly, those are all my same thoughts. And naturally, it's like, and to go back to
Yeah.
something we said earlier, it's kind of why I do think 8 weeks is better than 6 weeks, because
Mm,
like 2 weeks doesn't sound like a lot, but especially
right.
when you're in that stressful situation, it could
Yeah.
give it a little more time for the shoe to drop. And naturally, neither of us are saying like, yeah, we want them to argue and whatever, but it's like, you gotta argue, you kind of gotta see what you're like when you're not at your best, and
Yeah.
you got to go through adversity, you got to like weather yourself a little bit, and it's like everything has been super chill and kind of easy, and
Hmm.
yeah, like obviously it's not going to stay like that forever, and it's like, yeah, is there like, does he handle stressful situations poorly, like
Well,
does he have like a meaner side to, I don't think he
yeah.
does, but you get what I'm saying,
Just
like
going through different
you got
scenarios
to go
and
through something,
seeing
you
how
got to go through
people handle stress, handle hard times and things
adversity,
and stuff.
stuff
So
like
yeah.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the spirit of Felipe takes over Coach Cam, because he says, "One day, are we going to wake up and someone is going to feel differently if that passion's gone, as some of the couples have expressed?" So, this is one of those things where we don't actually see him say it. It seems like it was spliced in, because all of a sudden it goes to her face and he's like, the passion's gone. And remember, he was worried about that earlier when he was talking about, commitment. And I don't know if they just got it from when he said it back then, but then she does respond, "Are you worried I'm going to lose the passion?" So it is a present concern. It's not,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like something spliced in. And he says, "Well, it's about both." She said, "Are you worried I'm going to lose the passion, or you're going to lose the passion?" And he says, "Both. It's more about, sustaining the happiness, and how do you make it fun?" And I'm just like, huh? Where did this come from? Like, "Felipe, get thee behind me. Go away." Like,
Yeah.
what happened? So she's like saying, a partner makes your life more fulfilling, and that's what he does for her. And then he starts going on about, never being in a long term relationship. How do I make a 30-year relationship last without being stressed? And I'm wondering, like, I've talked about this when we get there with Belle Jolie and Mecca, but is Michelle going to have to be the person that reassures him over and over and over again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ding, ding, ding. That's also my thoughts exactly. It's like, I think part of it, some of this is part, he's never been in a relationship before. He's never, so if he really hasn't been in a long term relationship before, yeah, like he's not used to. I mean, this is like marriage. This is someone you're thinking
Yeah.
about the rest of your life, and they are very much in the honeymoon phase. There's a lot
Yeah.
of reason to be concerned that like hey, are we just in a bubble and everything's great? What will it be like when the cameras aren't here and like when we're not like all la la
Yeah,
over each other? And yeah, and then like once again, if he hasn't been in a long term relationship, he's not. He probably is confused. Like, why does she like me? Like, what? Like, is she suddenly going to stop liking me? I mean, it doesn't seem like he's really dealt with being secure
sure.
before.
Okay.
You know?
Yes, and that's the other thing. He wasn't given, not like anybody else's average, but he wasn't given an average woman, because even when he went to her house and he saw her paintings and was like, "You did that?" And it was like, "You took these photos? Oh, you did this?" Like she's like a gem.
Yeah. Well, no. I agree. I mean, he like got like yeah, he got a grand
Yeah.
slam for sure.
Yeah. So she says, like, I get nervous when he gets in his head, decision day is close, and is he going to say no? Like, it's just kind of unsteadying. And, you said you missed the old songs. This wasn't a licensed song, but the lyrics was like, why can't I save me from myself? That was so funny.
They loved it. MAFS loves to like that. That is so intentional with the lyrics
Yeah.
that match the situation.
I think the last thing we saw of them, like they love their beverages. The first conversation, they were at a coffee shop or something. Then the next time we saw them at like a brewery with beer or something. So it just looks so pretty. They make Seattle look really pretty. So thank God it wasn't in the winter, or it wasn't raining or something, or cloudy. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Caitlin and Devin, what's your quick
Uh,
summary on these two?
Frustrating. And we're gonna get into them. I This couple is when they first got matched. I thought these were like this was like the obvious couple, and
Yes.
they just looked the part. They look like a
Yes.
good couple. They look like they would get on. But quick summary. It's like I just think she's a cat and he's a dog. Where like she's independent and is fine going to do her own thing. You could put like a bowl of food and a bowl of water, and she's good for. And when she wants attention, she'll come sit on your lap. And he's just a dog in a sense of like he constantly needs to be pet, and you constantly got to throw the ball. And I think that they're going to turn it around. It is hard for me to believe that they're not going to work out,
Wow.
but they're just anyway. We'll get into them, but
Oh, that's
you know
that's a take.
yeah
Because I
it
my
yeah
my word for them is why. Like why? And also what you said. I was so sure they were going to be the golden couple. Like the switch up is real from their wedding day with all the antics of her dad to what is happening afterwards. I was like, "Wait, they didn't even tell us. We had no inkling that she was a black cat. I just
yeah
thought she was loving, she was everything. She kissed him on the wedding day. How would we know?" She's like, "Don't touch me, get away from me. I don't even want you near
yeah
me." So that's
yeah.
kind of crazy. Okay, they do topics you could talk about for hours. Hers is Harry Potter, Taylor Swift, and World War II.
That was I did find that funny. I was hoping that was like an intentional joke by her, and if so, I give her
I
credit because
don't
that
think
was
so.
really
I
funny.
think
But I
I
don't
think
think it
that's
was.
it.
Yeah.
What's yours, Henry? What are the topics you could talk about for hours?
Uh, with the right people, sports. I honestly could talk politics for a while.
Yeah.
And then I like golf, which I guess
Mhm.
falls under sports. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I don't know. There's random stuff, but
Restaurants,
yeah, you already know.
beer,
Yeah. I'm a social foodie kind of person. So like, yeah,
New
restaurants,
Orleans.
New Orleans for sure. Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't stalk
Married
your
at First Sight.
I don't stalk your IG or anything, Henry. Not at all.
Mm. But Married at First Sight is another topic I could talk about for hours. So
Yes.
yeah,
Apple shows.
yeah, Apple shows for sure. Yeah,
Okay. You guys know mine. It's like books, TV, pop culture. So phone a friend, call me. Okay, so he says he still has not lost faith in them. And they come back. I think they come back home and he brings back the dinner. He's talking about the dinner. He brings back the dinner that they had where she felt ambushed. And he was like, "I'm sorry, it just had been festering. And he did not mean to ambush her." And she maintains that things aren't perfect, but if she had to pick, she would still average it as a positive. And this is such a tough thing because of course it's a positive for you. They're doing everything that you want. I know she's convinced that she is trying and she is doing her best to keep things afloat. And I differed with Kristen on that. Kristen thought like she is actually trying. I think she's pushing through. There's an end date. I can make it through the finish line,
really.
but I don't know. When they come in holding hand, I don't know, but I don't know. You think that they're gonna make like there's a chance?
I refuse to believe that I was wrong from the right. They just. But once again, she's a cat, he's a dog, and cats and dogs don't always get along. But like, I just, it's hard for me to believe like that. I do think that once again, she's independent, and her walls are clearly very much up for whatever reason.
Yeah,
And people's definitions of things are different, right? Like, maybe it to us it doesn't look like she's trying, maybe to her she really is trying. But I will say, if that really is the case, then like for Devin, that's not going to be enough.
exactly.
Yeah,
I think she's giving her all. I don't know that there's any more that she
definitely.
can give, and I think he wants more. Like,
Yeah,
some call him needy, but
yeah, yeah.
that's the thing. So she says, like, he's okay. So here's the thing I would like to get your take on. She says, I don't think you're doing it intentionally, but you're not getting what you want from me emotionally. So you do this thing where you say or do something, get an emotional reaction from me. And for you, you're like, I feel better. And then you're like, okay, she feels something, like she's reacting to it when she does, and then he feels better, but then she carries it and it's heavier for her. And I was like, wait, did she just make sense? Like, she might have a point here, but what do you think?
No, I think that's I think that's 100%. Like, he is a little more like intense than like I thought it was going to be, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just not like, nothing has been easy for them yet. But
Yeah.
like, to answer your question, like, yeah, no, I and not, I know I say a lot about age, but I have this also weird take on them that I think if they would have met each other like at 30, 31 years old, they would have been
Mm,
much better for it. I like, there is part of me, if they don't work out, I think it's because like they're just too young and immature. And I think this is an example of that. Because
right.
yeah, he's definitely saying he wants certain things. She
Yeah.
does it, and then but yeah, like, if you're her, is that not exhausting?
Yeah. You can see it with her. And the only thing that might be a 0.05% is when she feels like she's failed him, she does seem so sad. Like she's crying. And I don't know if it's that she's in pain and uncomfortable or she feels bad that he feels that way. But I have a selfish reason why I want them to work. We need another example except for Jamie and Doug. They're the only ones that have come through the hump
Yeah.
and kinda like, "Oh, okay, this is a nice guy, I should appreciate him, and, I'll let my walls down," and we can't have one example in 20 seasons. I just
Yeah.
want a second one.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm so optimistic. I just, like I said, I just find it hard that they don't figure it out, but they do. And once again, I know we're
Yeah,
gonna go through stuff, but I think they just need to like lighten up a little bit. Honestly,
okay,
they
maybe.
need a little Adam and Marissa vibes, just a little bit, not full
Yeah,
send,
not
but
full send,
like half send.
half send. And that's the thing, the argument is always like, without the cameras, maybe things would be easier, but I think not a lot of people have. I don't know if it's done better without the cameras. Like, I think you kind of know your foundation with the cameras of
Yeah,
what you are going to be. Devin does say that he doesn't thrive in argument, but some uncomfortable conversations are necessary. But he does say something. He was like, all I'm asking is like, can we meet in the middle? Like, let's at least end the night with each other. Asking your spouse to end the night together is crazy work. I'm sorry.
yeah, no. I like this one's like, there's just nothing about them has been easy, and I don't know. I'll let you continue like going through the narrative, because I think there's something else later on that they say, but yeah, just not like, not, and then like, yeah, that's also weird. Like end the night together. Like, what are we talking about here? like
Yeah,
like
like it's just
and like, that's telling, right? I mean, it's
I don't know. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. He says, just to round him up, he says, like, okay, like, I would like to at least cuddle. And I'm like, again, she builds pillow forts, which is extreme to me. And she's like, her face is like, you're asking for too much. Then she's like, okay, how about when we sit, I put my leg on you?
yeah.
And he's like, that's perfect. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is literally what I wanted. This is what I knew you were going to
Hmm.
reference. Like, there's just nothing easy about them. And like, in this part of the conversation, I'm like, y'all are talking about how to cuddle or how to put a leg on it. Like this, like I've done this with people I went on like one date with and never talked again. Like what? Like it's like, do you get what I? It's so
Yeah.
mechanical and so, like, but I'm like, y'all are talking about like every little thing, you
Yeah.
know, and that if I do have, you know, obviously
Yeah.
if I'm wrong about them not staying together, it's because it obviously just will never end up being natural for them. But they're overthinking and they're talking about like every little thing.
But they are because they're not I don't want to say incompatible again. It's just like
Yeah.
if you're talk because when I say this all the time, if you're attracted to someone, if you vibe with someone, you
It,
just be.
it's natural.
Yeah.
That's what like Adam and Marissa have that going for. Like Adam
Mhm.
and Marissa are like the opposite. Like they don't even seem to talk about deep things, so they don't even get there. But they have like the basic
The
foundation
basic
of like
natural yeah.
they're comfortable with each other and they quote unquote vibe. Like Devin and Caitlin, I think can talk about deeper things, but it's just everything about them seems uncomfortable. You know?
But here's the thing where I don't know if it's a fake out. So when she brings out that they went to an EDM festival and that was great, we didn't see that and we don't know. So to round out their scenes, the last thing we see is like they have a blanket, they're sitting together, they're watching rugby. He's introducing her to it and she's not like, this guy. She's like, oh, I like this team because I think I should choose this team because whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe they do have moments. The Harry Potter moment, like, she really enjoyed that and all that. So I'm like, are they faking it out so we expect them to not make it and then they both say yes or something? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just no. Honestly, to me, I may be wrong when I say this, but to me, they're the most frustrating couple. And I think it's part because like, it's funny. You keep on saying for Michelle and Cameron, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. In a sense of
Yeah,
like you're like I'm waiting for it with them in the other direction of like they're
it's
struggling, but I'm
getting
waiting for it to like just start clicking. And it's like every time they have like a good moment, it's like followed up by like an intense bad
yeah,
like moment, and it's like that's just like what it
yeah.
is, you know.
Okay, well, I mean, good thing decision day. We'll find out and we'll see what happens eventually. All right, Mecca and Beljolie. What are your
My uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say hopeful. I'm hopeful. They are
yeah.
also confusing, but I'm hopeful for them.
Yes, they are. You guys know I have not seen the rest of the drops, and this is it. And I'm just like, I think I put it in threads. I'm like, guys, don't burst my bubble. I like them. They're cute, but
Well,
I also know better. Like, I shouldn't, have all that hope. But I'm with Henry. Like, I'm just being hopeful at this point. Like, I hope they do. But they have the conversations. They're just, the phrase homie, lover, friend. They just hover between being homies, being lovers, being friends. And it's like, which one are we on the dial, today? So they're having, s'mores and hot cocoa and just talking about things. They're talking about phases of their childhood. And he goes back to being jealous of his, brother and sister living with their mom. He says, if I tell my dad all of this, my dad would be like, I know this, but I don't care. And, I've said it before, he has daddy issues, mommy issues, and there's a lot of things that need to be unpacked. And we met his dad, so we have a glimpse
yeah,
into what his childhood must have been like. I do think it's interesting that Belgely asked him about his childhood, and the memory he came up with is a negative one.
mhm,
I think a lot of times on reality TV, and I don't know if it's the prompting of the producers, when someone asks for a memory, people are more inclined to share something negative than a positive memory. I also think it's interesting that once again, she isn't talking about her childhood. She asked him about his. And I say this because I've been saying that we don't seem to get a lot from her, and even the experts don't ask. And until Kristen mentioned the hard line, I'm beginning to suspect that she also has like a hard line, like, I don't want to talk about too much about my family unless I bring it up and in what capacity that I want to, because she seems guarded about that. And I have said that since they're pushing people, the fact that they haven't pushed her to talk more about herself, there's a lot of focus on Mecca in their relationship. So maybe that's of her choosing. I don't know. But even without the expert, she's the one saying, she didn't say, oh, let me share about my childhood. She asked him. And when she starts talking about hers, she also says, I'm not going into detail about that. So
yes, she
I
did.
just find, yeah, I find all that interesting because I'm like, I think she does like being in the shadows of the relationship, but it might not be healthy
Yeah,
uh, for them. Um, she brought up a point saying like, okay, he said he didn't think he was deserving of like social media, the phones and all privileges because he was acting up. And he does mention that he used to pee on himself during the times he got whoopings, and he peed in the bed till he was 13. And I don't know if people know this, but I mean, I have heard like, when you're peeing in the bed at that age, like it's linked to anxiety whenever older kids are peeing, because there's worry there. And sometimes, especially of a certain generation, people are thinking you're a kid. What is there to worry about? So there's nothing there for that.
Yeah.
So her description of her childhood is we were beyond poor. And she says that a lot. And he keeps saying, beyond, that's a lot. But she does say like they had toothpaste for a meal, and that's how bad it was. But the one thing they always did was they celebrated birthdays. And that's why they're very huge for her right now. Keep that in mind, people. So Mecca says they have good in-depth conversations with each other. They know they care very deeply about each other, and it just so happens that it's her birthday. It's not
Yeah.
all. It's not coincidence, guys. They're laying out a story.
Yeah, no, that's it.
He says he wants to show her something for sure. Beljolie comes home. She comes into flowers from him. There are candles all around. We have used a lot of candles this season, and I keep saying they're leftovers from the wedding. I don't know if it's true, but I keep thinking they're recycling
They
it.
better be.
He sings happy birthday to her. The whole place is decorated, and I love this so much. I am a big birthday person, but just for the fact that he heard her say this is a thing for her, and he went out of his way for someone who gives passive, someone who gives, if it doesn't doing this, it's about time he shows that he cares for her. Although the smoke alarm going off was really funny though.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no, I love the moment. He got the fairly obvious hint that birthdays were important to him. But I thought it was great. Like,
Yeah.
he sang to her when she came in and gave her the gifts, and yeah,
Yeah.
he did a good job with it.
He did. And the theme of all his gifts was thoughtful, because the first
Yes.
thing he gave her was like her angry food. I think it was like Cheetos or something like that. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, the fact that you listen to that. Then he gives her her actual gift. It was a cute purse. All she keeps saying at this point is Mecca, Mecca. She can't even say anything else. And at this point, she's tearing up, and then she jumps on him. It was just so cute.
It was.
Like, yeah. So she says she hasn't experienced anything like this, and it really wasn't about the gifts. It was just like they were thoughtful, and he was listening, and he's just amazing. And I'm like, finally, they need a win,
Yeah.
you know. But then he jokes, about it, because that's what Mecca does. I think he's uncomfortable with like strong feelings or something. They're eating cake, and he's like, "So I guess with what I did for you, you love me now. Like you're around in the neighborhood." And she throws it back to him, and then he fumbles and says, "I don't know." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that
"Oh,
was weird. That was weird. I thought, I
oh,
was like, am I the only one that thought? Yeah, yeah, that was not the best reaction.
no, just say you're in the neighborhood. You haven't taken the
Yeah,
turn. You're driving around. MapQuest, no, nobody uses MapQuest. Google Maps
yeah,
is telling you where
yeah,
to go. But to just say, I don't know." And then he says, "I can feel strongly for someone and still not love them." I'm like, ugh,
yeah, yeah.
this guy. I
A
don't
little bit
know.
of a fumble for sure.
Yeah, he needs a lot of work. But I think for both of them too, they need to stop dancing around and lean in. Like even with the metaphors and all the things, I'm around, but I'm not, because I'm not saying it first. You say it first, then I'll do that. Your feelings should not be dependent on the other. Even if your heart shatters, what do you feel? Just lean into that, and then take whatever happens afterwards. But I'll just think of the birthday and focus on that.
Yeah, I like them a lot. Yeah, Mecca is definitely in his head a lot. Honestly, not to get too deep into it, maybe a lot of that is how his upbringing with his dad. Like
Yeah,
maybe he's also not secure and
it
not
is.
confident,
Yes.
and he's very much. It's very obvious he's in his head
Yeah.
a lot, but I don't know. It seems like they're getting more comfortable. I thought the birthday moment was great for the most part, except with some of those fumbles.
Yeah.
But I am hopeful
Yes.
from Mech and Bell. I
Me
think
too.
they seem like two great people, two likable
Yes.
people, and I think they would be a great couple.
Agreed. All right. Tori and Felipe. Any thoughts?
I said it. I just laughed it off. Yeah,
For
I
me,
feel
it's
bad for Tori. That's what I'll say.
yes. I think that for me, I think my word is roller coaster. I just, am I going up? Am I going down? I don't know what it is. But thankfully, most of the scene is Tori with her sister, shared with, his unbelievable words. Tori says, like, all his talk is so immature and she doesn't have time to build a boy and she's not here for
Yeah.
this wishy washy thing.
Yeah.
And her sister says at the ceremony, like, I just noticed, guys, she did not say wedding. She said ceremony. Just wanted to point that out. And he kept saying, I have a good job and I'm grown now. And she just said she had weird feelings about that. And now hearing what Tori is saying, like maybe he doesn't have his life as much as he says he does. Tori brings up the fact that she's concerned how he's so close to his mom. I
Mhm.
wasn't sure what she was going to say afterwards, but then she goes, he's very babied. Like his mom shops for him, his house was decorated by her and his sister. Like he really hasn't done enough on his own. He sleeps until 10 or 11. We knew that. The matchmakers knew that. And she doesn't trust that he can have responsibilities. She said she hasn't seen enough things that he's done on his own. His job is his family. His last
Yep.
job was from his dad.
Yep.
And that's a lot of orange flags. And he's just not sure of marriage in general. Like, there's nothing redeeming about all the things she's
This,
saying.
yeah. I'll just say real quick that I probably shouldn't speak for women, but there tends to be fewer things regarding relationships that women dislike more than having to be like
Mom.
the man's mom or just baby him or help him grow up. And
Yeah.
Felipe screams that. Like, there's not like screams that. Like,
Yeah.
he is absolutely someone you're gonna have to be. She couldn't even like you'll probably get to, but like she couldn't even trust him to do some like very basic things, and which also speaks volumes. But yeah,
But you can mention it, Henry. You're talking about the dog. You can go ahead.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like, like if that feeling of hers was accurate and genuine, which I'm assuming it was, then that should kind of tell you a lot of what you need to know. You know?
Every episode adds to the list of reasons why she should say no.
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah,
didn't even know all this about him being babied. I think my concern was just he kept mentioning his mom and he wasn't sure. So I wasn't sure if she was going to be like an obstacle in the relationship, but she seems to get along with his mom. We didn't know about the babying, but we knew from jump. Like, if this man missed two Zoom calls or meetings for a show,
yes. That's a great. I actually completely forgot about that. I
yeah,
completely forgot about that. Yeah, but once, yeah, it shows like a lack of maturity. It just shows
yeah,
like he's not really an adult. Like,
yeah,
and that's coupled with like all the other stuff he said, where it's like he's clearly just not like he does not seem ready for a relationship. There's just and like usually someone who as he likes to say, or as he said, he likes to be with a lot of women or whatever it was that he said
hmm,
in the past. Like, um, a lot of times guys like that are like smooth talkers,
yeah,
I'm afraid that that's what's like kind of. I'm like, Tori, come on, but she's
yeah.
not dumb. She's not dumb because she says a lot
No,
of things. I was kind
yeah.
of afraid that maybe she didn't have a lot of depth to her, but no, no, no. She says things. I'm like, okay. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're picking up on it. So I hope that she,
Oh,
stands.
she's clocked it. And I think
Yeah,
it's just like there's an end date, you know?
there's an
I
end
should,
there. Yeah,
it's fine. We can write it out. She tells his sister, there's a lot of orange flags. Her sister says, I don't like this. And Tori says, her words, I'm wondering, and I think this might be emotional manipulation with words. And the whole thing is reeking of emotional immaturity. And she's like, I hope I'm wrong about it, all of it. But deep down, I think she's like, I know I'm
she
right.
knows.
And she knows she's right. So she tells her sister, like, we both said yes the first time, but tomorrow, I don't even think it will be undecided. It will be a straight no because he is indecisive. There's potential, but she can't ignore all the red flags. And I just want to say, snaps for Tori for all of this conversation because she was in it and she was not wrong. So she brings it up with him, what you were talking about earlier, like wanting to trust him with her dog. And right now, she doesn't think she trusts him and she wants him to step up. He says, like, oh, we just need to adjust the stuff. And I was like, if she needs something specifically, she should just tell him. And I think he's missing that part. Sometimes you don't have to be told. Step
Yes.
up means step up and do what you're supposed to do without me telling you.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, if you need something, just I'll wake up and I won't go back to sleep. I'll go back to sleep after I walk the dog." And I'm like, What?
That was such a weird response. I was like, I just face palmed. Yeah.
Yeah. She tells him she's nervous about the group session. He says things are good. She goes, "You think they are?" He goes, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't." So she's like, "You're at war within yourself and you want to be single." And she points out that he's not being curious, which was the thing Paul told him to be. And he's like, I accept that he's not being curious. And it's hard for her to share things when she feels like he's not interested, which I think is kind of different for me because he tells her, I'm committed, I want to be here, I want to do that. But, she's getting the vibe that he's not interested. I don't think I knew that about him. But he goes, "Wow, you're right." And then he says, "I don't it doesn't feel great that he's not the husband he thought he would be, that he used to brag about it." And this is why I think Felipe is performative. I know people get on me for saying that, but I do think Felipe likes to say all the words and get all the praise and he just wants to look good without actually doing it.
Yeah. Who people give you grief for saying he's absolutely performative. Yeah.
So he says he wants to change, and I'm just not only do I not understand this pendulum swing, I'm sick of it. It's kind of exhausting.
It
So
is. Yeah, it is. I'm like, I'm pretty confident Tori is sniffing the whole thing out, and yeah, I don't have much hope for them. And
well,
they better not stay together.
ha ha.
I will question everything.
We'll see. All right, final couple, Nikki and Sean.
Uh, I'll say eye roll, but uh, yeah, we'll go through Nikki and Sean. I really don't get this couple. I'm gonna say that. My quick theory on them is that they've kind of had like this 180, and my theory is that they had conversations off camera of like, let's just get through this. Let's stop being argumentative in front of the other people and bringing the vibes down. Like, let's just get in. He's clearly attracted to her, and I think he was agreeable to that. But I think he still wants her to come around. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes,
I think that's their situation. So,
yes. I think that's what is happening. They just put up a united front
yeah.
for it, but I mean, yeah, Sean is very much attracted to her. I'm back and forth with her. I keep saying like I don't know if she's attracted to him, but she can't accept the fact that this is the package that it came in. I'm
Yeah.
not by any means saying he's hideous or anything, but I think she had an image in her head of what her person would look like, and
It
she's
ain't
just
that.
like, "Wow, I this is it? Like really?" And she's struggling with that, or she's really just icked out by him and is like everybody else pushing through to the end,
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that. And it's a shame because I would think that since this is new to MAFS, which is the older couples, I would think they would set them up for success to
I,
kind of sell that, but
I agree.
yeah.
I love that they're starting to do. I didn't watch the last season. I know that there was an older couple in there.
Yeah.
I love to see older couples on the show and not it all be about like younger, whatever couples.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's like you kind of think that they would be a little more responsible with like
Yeah.
because like yeah, I mean they're older. It's like come on, like let's show
Yeah.
some, a little more respect.
And in this case, these are two people who have never been married, don't have kids. Nikki still wants kids, and it's like, why? Why use them for? I mean, they got the water cooler moment. People are seriously talking about them, but it's just, I wish it wasn't them.
Yeah,
So,
agree.
a little social media. Sean did put out an apology. I heard he took it down. I'm not sure,
I
but he
think he
did
did.
put out.
Yeah,
He put out an apology, and also I was making fun of Sean for being on Cameo, but Nikki is now also on Cameo, so go check it out if you want a message.
yeah,
So they're at some candle place having their date. Sean brings up money and her thoughts on earnings, and he wants her synopsis on that. They're still speaking corporate speak, earnings, synopsis. It could be the same as me presenting Q4 at my job, but
yeah,
they say they have Nikki believes in shared and separate accounts. He says, "Oh, I want my wife to have everything," and he's talking about giving a significant part of their checks to growing their portfolio. Guys, I get some things in my DM, and I don't know what is true or not. But based on the DMs I'm getting, I'm not sure what's going to be left of Sean's check if they're giving a significant part to their portfolio, but. Good
Yeah.
luck to them and to him. I just think he likes to talk a big game because
That's exactly
relax,
what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
have fun. She said to fulfill our lifestyle, and he wants to sound important, like our future, our portfolio, our stuff. Take that off camera, like whatever.
Yep.
Anyways, Nikki says they're aligned on a lot of values, and can they progress to a romantic grown folk relationship? I don't know. If we're still asking this question with less than 3 weeks to go, just it's okay. Just call it and have fun. Thanks,
Yep.
guys. That's it for me for them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna round this up with a group session that they have. And before I forget, guys, Dr. Paz has a segment on IG called Just a Tip, where I guess she gives a tip. She's a sex relationship expert or something, but
Okay.
there's something called Just a Tip. Like, okay.
Jesus.
So if that's your thing, go there and check it out. Again, I keep saying it. She feels like she's so happy to be on TV and all these things. She's on Nick File. She's on everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out her tips if you're looking for just a tip.
Mm.
So everyone's getting ready for the group session, and I'm just wondering, I don't know if you saw this, Henry, why Adam and Marissa had so much food out on their countertop. There was like a thing, like three broccoli heads. I don't even know if it was like decoration. There was bread, there was chips, there was juice,
So
just
weird.
all
I,
around there. I love how Mecca is committed to wearing his power beats. Everyone wears AirPods. Mecca is like, I'm going to put this hooks behind my ears. Belgely, I believe, is trying to trigger Paul because her outfit was screaming, "Look at me!"
yeah, performative. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And you know what Paul is going to say. Although I got to tell you guys, Paul is giving them a run for her money with his outfit as well.
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay?
say something really quick. I get that Paul. I get that he is not a participant or married or whatever. But I'm like,
Uh huh.
how can you literally are calling out Adam for his outfits? And Adam, I posted
Yes.
this on my Instagram yesterday. Uh, Adam wore a robe, and then
Yes.
on a subsequent episode, Paul's wearing a black robe. I'm like,
Yes.
how are you calling him out?
With leather pants.
But do you get? But I'm like, you're not the one to call him out. But
Yes.
anyway.
I know. Maybe he was making a point. Like he was like, I dare you to call me out to say I'm wearing
Yeah,
this. I
yeah, but
don't know.
it just I'm like, you're not the one to deliver the message. Like what?
So Nick and Courtney are getting ready, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Henry, but every time Nick and Courtney are talking, she is either doing her hair or doing makeup in
Yes,
front of a mirror while she's ripping Nick a new asshole or something every single
every time.
time. Yeah, she's saying that she's a deep person. He's so superficial. Adam walks into the group session. You say I dress up too much? I'm not even gonna bother dressing up. And Felipe calls him out and it was like, "Where were you before this? Like you didn't stop by to change?" He's wearing just like shorts and a t-shirt, like he just went running
It
and
was
came
so weird.
straight without a shower. So who are we talking about? Caitlin is chipper. They come in, they sit down, they're like, "Oh, Caitlin, you look so happy." And it was like, yes, because Taylor Swift just dropped her album. And I believe Life of a Showgirl, if anyone's trying to date or what time it was, that came out October 2025. So that's when this was filmed, and that's where they were on that day, October 3rd to be exact. So Paul tells them to be prepared because tonight they're going to decide if they're all in or not. How do you feel about this, Henry? This whole decision to I don't know. Okay, I haven't watched it all. I don't know if they did it for all the couples, but I know jumping ahead for Courtney and Nick, they asked them, "Do you want to end this tonight?" So,
Yeah.
do you think this is good to give this to the couples?
Uh, once again, part of it seems to be they are a little more direct and call out the couples a little bit. So I I honestly don't have a problem with it. I mean, I think everyone should kind of see it through to the end, but I get it.
Yeah.
I really don't have a problem with it. It's.
I think the only reason I like it is for people like Nick and Courtney or Caitlyn sometimes who looks like she's in pain, please put them out their misery. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
fun
no.
for us to watch.
Yeah, no, you're giving people an out. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's like if you're really miserable and unhappy, yeah, just like here's your excuse to move on. So you
Yeah.
so like I don't mind it.
Yeah. Okay, so Courtney says they had difficult conversation. She thought it was going to go well. It did not go well. He says he's not so sure when she would think he's being himself because he thinks he's being himself, but it doesn't seem that way. Paul asks if he feels like he has put more effort than her. this was a really good answer by Nick. I know he wants to say yes, but he said, I wouldn't say it's more effort. Like I see the effort she puts in, but the effort I put in is not recognized. Paul asked if they believe they have a strong romantic connection. I'm like, Paul, where have you been? Why would you ask that question? Where is the romance? There's no even Rome in these two. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
So she says, I don't know. And he was like, I see it as friends, but he has not felt that way. She says, I don't feel like I can be enough for him. He says he sees value in being here and learning about himself, but that's not fair to Courtney. He said that part. He
Yeah.
says he's not clear what he needs to work on. And Courtney looks at him and is like, it would be clear if you listened to me. And then she's like, you know what? You said you could learn about yourself. And it's like, fuck you. What the fuck? And I'm like, Courtney, stop being rude.
Yeah. She can't help it.
And no one calls her out. This is my frustration. You're in front of the experts, call her out. Say
Yeah.
you can make a point without being disrespectful to your partner or any human being.
Yeah. And it's a
Ugh.
little inconsistent because they call out other people for other things, but not her for obvious things.
Yes. So the episode ends with Paul asking them, like, what I'm asking you is, would you like to end your marriage tonight? Dun, dun, dun. So, you know, that's it. I hope they both say yes because I don't want any more of it. Like I would be so happy. I've been looking for ways to vote Courtney off the island. So
Yeah.
this would be great. So I mean, that was it. But before we go, I don't know if you had any last thoughts before I
No,
ask
no,
you for your bouquet. Okay.
no.
So who would you give your bouquet to for this episode?
Uh, like the award, I would. Uh, I mean, I get it's hard to say anyone other than like I even got some flowers. It's hard to say. It's hard to say anyone other than Cameron and Michelle. I just think,
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the easy answer.
Okay.
But yeah, like
Okay.
you
I
know,
had two, just in case one of them was mentioned. My first bouquet would go to Beljolie and Mecca because I
yeah,
really enjoyed the birthday scene. And just in case as a runner up, it was going to be Tori for everything that she said to him and everything she said to her sister and clocking the whole situation,
yeah,
with Felipe
okay,
and saying, I'm not putting up, with that shit. So,
yeah.
okay. Who has your ashes? Did you get ashes too?
No, I did not have ashes. I who would get? I mean, like just I want to say I mean just Adam and Marissa. I just
Really?
yeah, yeah. Who's you?
Oh, I mean, Courtney. I feel like I
Okay,
give
yeah.
it to her.
I'm sorry. That's not obvious. Sometimes I try not to go too obvious, but yeah, Courtney, of
Yes,
course.
I get it. I've been giving it to her all the time, but it's
Yeah.
so hard not to.
No, 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 no.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
when she's there. I mean, a runner-ups was like the experts for not calling her out for being rude because when she said it, I think it was Beljolie. She was like, "Oh my god, like why? It's so jarring, you
Yeah.
know,
No,
when
no,
that
100%. And you could also throw Felipe in there, but but yeah,
yeah.
a few of
There's
them.
so many options. So
So
many
many
options you
options.
can give it to. So yeah. Well, guys, that has been the episode. Henry, as always, it was fun to have you here and for sharing your opinions on here. You think you're gonna ride it out to the end of the season with
I'm
these?
definitely yeah. I'm
Okay.
committed. I'm back. I'm gonna ride it out, and I appreciate you having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. And we'll see if you were right about Caitlin and Devin, because we have to see what happens at the end with them. Okay. Do you want to share with people where they can find you?
I'm mainly on Instagram, so H Rodriguez, my first initial, my last name, and yeah, come follow me there. I post a lot in my Instagram stories about my day to day, and I've been posting some, reactions to Married at First Sight, so it's
Yes.
been fun.
Yes, he has. It is kind of fun. And you can get tips like if you ever visit New Orleans. Harry also
Yep,
has some cool recommendations on there.
absolutely.
Okay, you guys know where to find me. It's Tain Talks on any social media that you prefer to use. Stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It really helps the podcast. And until next time, guys, bye.